Hi everyone, happy December and Merry Christmas. It's the holiday season. I'm Chris Locke, I'm Carmen Locke's husband, and this is my daughter Grace. And we're just going to talk to you about a tradition that we have started every Christmas really since my mom passed away in 2018. And that's making her famous Christmas cookies called Chipit Noels. We even have the official recipe book that she used, which has hundreds of recipes in here that we also tend to make. But today we're going to focus on the cookies. And these cookies are absolutely delicious. My mom started making these when I was a kid. And I remember every Christmas looking forward to them, and they were so delicious. They were so good that when she would actually make them ahead of time, put them in the freezer. But little did she know that I would go into the freezer and, of course, take them and eat them frozen, which they were even good then. So I think you guys will like all these. So anyway, first off, we've got all our ingredients assembled here, so we're going to make this, relatively quick and just kind of explain how we make these. So first off, in a mixer, we went ahead and we put in a half a cup of shortening, 3/4 cups of sugar, and half a teaspoon of almond extract. And you can see in there that's all been mixed up through the mixer. So you can do that in a mixer, you can do it by hand with a hand mixer, whatever you want. So once that's done, we also have some dried ingredients here that we're going to mix in with this. And that is a half a tablespoon of, a cup of flour, a half a tablespoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. And we're going to take all this, and Grace is going to go ahead and do all the mixing and stuff here. She's going to dump that into the mixture so we can see that. I also should include there's also an egg in the first part as well. I forgot to mention that. So you have one egg that you beat in, mix it in with everything. And then you're just going to mix all this stuff up. And you can see that she's doing this, and she's doing a great job. So you want to get that all mixed in there. And then we're going to take some other ingredients in there. So it looks pretty good, Grace. So I think we can go ahead and continue on here. So once again, that was a cup of flour, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. Okay, so now we're going to dump in, or mix in here, 1 cup of chocolate chips. So these are the mini chocolate chips, and you can use mini or you can use regular size. A little hack is if you use the mini ones, you actually get a better ratio of chocolate chips in your cookies, and most people like that. So that's what we go ahead and do. So Grace is just going to tilt this and show you what she's doing here. So this is what it's starting to look like. So we've got some chocolate chips put in there, and we give that a good mix. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in 3/4 cup of coconut. Okay. And these are the prep bowls, the Epicure prep bowls, which are perfect for getting your ingredients all together, ready to go. Very little cleanup from that. Those are, of course, are dishwasher safe as well, which is even better. So Grace is now mixing in the coconuts. And it's starting to look delicious, and you can actually even smell it too. It's really good. All right, she's almost... All right, so now the last ingredient here is a cup of, 3/4 of a cup of chopped cherries. Now these ones are cherries that we bought at the store. They were already chopped up, which was even better. If you buy cherries, maraschino cherries or whatever, and you want to chop them up, you can go ahead and do that by hand. But you want to chop them up so they get nice and fine. And then you mix that all in. And this is starting to look really festive too. It's nice, a nice red Christmas tint to it with little black chocolate chips in there. It's going to be delish. All right, so now if Grace is just going to show this now to you, there's the mixture. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our little Epicure scoop here, which is really cool, and it basically allows you to go in there and scoop up a nice portion and plop it onto your baking sheet. So while Grace is mixing that, we're going to use the Epicure baking sheet here with a silicone liner, and she's going to start now putting our cookies on here. Now you think you might only get a dozen or so. You might actually get about you might get more than that depending on how big and how small you want them. We usually get about 17 to 20 or so per batch. So this batch that we'll have the recipe, and Carmen I think is going to post the recipe on the page here as well. And you can see these are looking delish. I'll just make sure those get there. Looking good, Grace. Doing a great job. You're a good Santa's little helper. Looking good, Grace. Okay. All right, so that's basically what you're doing. You can see what Grace is doing here. She's just putting her cookies on here. So what will happen now after these are done is she'll take this and she'll preheat her oven to 350, and she will put these in for probably 15 to 20 minutes. You can check them after 15 to make sure they might be done after 15, depends on your oven, of course, and you can see what they look like. So once they go in there for the 15 to 20 minutes, when they come out, what you're going to see are the finished products. And these are the delicious Chipit Noel Cookies. And Grace and I, the best part of doing this is we get to try one. So we're going to take one here, and I will split it with her. So you can have the bigger piece. And you can see there's nice and ooey gooey chocolate in there. Oh yeah, these are good. Mm-hmm. And because I'm still a little kid, I'm going to freeze some and I'm going to eat them out of the freezer. And that's how you do your Chipit Noels. So take a look at the recipe online, and hopefully you'll give them a try this season. It's a good way for us to remember my mom. Grace and I enjoy doing this every year. And yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Enjoy. Cheers.
Merry Christmas.